Did it really start, I read, over a cup of tea one morning?
Of course.
Really?
This is an Irish-English household, and everything is either figured out or solved over a cup of tea.
The idea that
We
Touched
had
by
a
an
cup of
Angel's
tea
Roma
one
Downey
morning, and
was
we-
brewing
and
that
we
morning,
discussed
along with the
it.
tea, was trying to persuade her husband, Survivor creator Mark Burnett, that perhaps the ultimate reality would be to bring the Bible to the small screen.
I did go for a bike ride after that and think about it and prayed and came back and realised Roma was right, and we hugged and we have never ever looked back, not once.
But it was your idea.
I would say it was God's idea placed in my heart.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
The result is a History Channel miniseries that's hardly mini. It spans both the Old and New Testaments, from Genesis to Revelation, turning the page from Noah and his ark
God warned me. He told me to build a boat.
to David fighting Goliath. And of course, the life and death of Jesus Christ.
John, baptize me.
That saga begins later tonight.
It's really an introduction to the Bible, and our hopes were that we would engage people in dialogue, which has certainly happened.
You sort of want the Bible to be water cooler conversation.
Absolutely. Monday mornings after the show had aired, it was water cooler conversation all across the country.
Moses,
The Bible has begotten some pretty divine ratings.
I am the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob.
You are real.
I am.
The first night, it beat out everything else on TV.
Behold his mighty hand!
When Charlton Heston parted the Red Sea more than 50 years ago, it looked like this. This is the updated version.
Follow me!
The couple's teenage children made sure they got the special effects right.
They said, please, when it comes to the special effects, will you make sure that it's not lame?
Don't look back!
The Bible's $22 million facelift is what Burnett argued was long overdue.
Was it a tough sell, though, to network executives?
No, I don't know. I mean, maybe for some people, I don't think that way. I really don't.
Maybe not hard for Mark Burnett.
No, I'm not saying that. I just don't think that way. Ask anybody. I just knew we were making it. We're going to make it no matter what. We'd have made it whether it wasn't going to be on TV. We'd have made it. In our
Both
normal
say
day
it was
job,
a
what's
spiritual
popular.
calling. It's not like they need the extra work either.
Laura, the tribe has spoken.
Not only is Mark Burnett still the creative force behind Survivor, now in its 26th season, but he's also producing Celebrity Apprentice,
Hey, Brett, you're fired.
Shark Tank, and the wildly popular The Voice.
We don't need to make more TV. This is way more than that.
What is it?
It's a movement. It's the Bible. It's something that everybody should know. Even if you don't want to go to church or believe, you should know these stories.
Abraham!
All of them age-old stories, like Abraham being asked to sacrifice his son.
A sacrifice. My boy.
It's called The Sanctuary.
That's what you guys call it?
Yeah.
It's
That's
fitting,
what we call
perhaps, that the Bible's co-producers own
And it
a little
really-
slice of heaven along the coast in Malibu.
This is the thinking chair, Lee. This is where we come down and we're just able to get away from it all and sit right here on the edge of the continent.
Well, it doesn't get much better, I have to say.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
They share their home with their children and
yeah.
3
Love Roma.
Irish
They're
wolfhounds.
my guys. They're my guardian angels, these guys. They don't know that they're big dogs. They're little dogs in big dog bodies.
On set, their knowledge of the Bible came from their upbringing. Both were raised in religious households. Downey, a true Irish Catholic.
I was taught by the Sisters of Mercy or as we jokingly used to call them, the Sisters of No Mercy.
They met while Downey was filming Touched by an Angel, where she played an angel.
Forgive me. I didn't know who you were.
I hardly ever do, Monica.
In the Bible, Downey plays more, though, than an angel. She plays Mary.
Where is my son?
Jesus has been arrested.
Arrested?
But we don't know where they have taken him.
She never intended to act in the miniseries, but by the time production started, they hadn't found anyone else who quite fit the bill.
Were you reluctant, though, at first?
I don't know if I was reluctant. I think that, you know, I approached it prayerfully, and I felt that maybe it was the right thing to do.
Casting Jesus wasn't any easier.
It's a very nuanced role to find the right physical actor who also has that humility and sense to be able to portray the Lord.
Satan.
They chose a young Portuguese actor named Diogo Morgado.
Get away from me, Satan.
They shot for 5 months in Morocco, on the edge of the Sahara Desert. They brought in more than 40 biblical scholars and theologians to help in the research, and enlisted some heavy-hitting preaching power to spread the word.
Mark Burnett and Roma Downey, come on up. I want you to...
Including evangelical pastor Joel Osteen.
Mark and Roma have brought the Bible to a new generation.
But many of the nation's media critics weren't as inspired. Some poked fun at what they called the ninja angels in red robes. Others called the Bible more of an action film than a spiritual adventure.
Did that hurt? Did it?
No. Listen, if the critics were so good, they'd be making TV themselves, wouldn't they? So, I mean, listen, numbers speak. I don't even pay attention to anything like that.
The numbers do say something. For Downey and Burnett, they mean their calling has had an impact.
To have found this kind of an audience for it has been humbling and exhilarating and very gratifying.